This is going to be a video about not being responsible for other people, not having to take ownership for their shortcomings or their mistakes, especially for clients or potential dating partners. I'm thinking about clients because I'm an escort, or family members. I am not responsible for teaching you how to approach me, correcting you. It's in my ad that you ought to introduce yourself. So if you haven't read that and you're texting me, hey, are you available? I don't reply. You have to show up. You have to be competent. It's not my responsibility to teach you or to lecture you or correct you. That's one thing I used to do. I recently let go of that. Like, I'll put in my ad how people ought to contact me if in case they don't already know. If they haven't read it or they ignore it, I don't really want to deal with them. It's not my responsibility to overlook or make excuses for you if you get triggered and get reactive and don't apologize. I don't have to make an allowance for that. I don't have to overlook that. I don't have to be okay with that. It's not my responsibility if you're an hour late to an appointment because you got caught in traffic. I have compassion for you, but my time is set aside. I do not ask my massage therapist to write off the time or take me late because I pay for the time that I paid for. Even if I'm late, that's on me. I'm not saying clients would have a problem with that, but I'm talking about my internal mindset. So I'm going to be communicating that to all people ahead of their appointments. Traffic has really picked up and so many people forgot how to drive and there are all these accidents. Some of my clients are coming 1 or 2 hours late because they're coming down south on the interstate, and some of them are driving long distances. I feel bad, but I set that time aside for you. I didn't have dinner and now I'm sitting around, and it's not my responsibility to lecture you or teach you. Like, just show up. And also, one thing I learned, this is like one of the big things that was so awesome for me when I was kind of debating whether or not I should divorce my husband. I was like, it was right at the end of our 25 years. I had already moved into the guest room because I was like, this is not working, but does God want me to stay? Does God want me to go? I had this belief that, marriage is forever and I like to work on things, and he wasn't telling me what he needed, so I didn't know. I was just trying to work on things, and I went to the therapist at Kaiser, and she said, what do you want in a relationship, Shahrzad? And the question really floored me because I didn't know that I was allowed to want things in a relationship. Nobody had ever asked me what I wanted in a relationship. I thought that we're married, we have to make it work. That was very good. I told her what I wanted in a relationship. And I thought she might tell me those were the wrong things or the right things. She didn't say any of that. She said, have you ever had that with him? No. That's when it really hit me. Oh my God, I've been trying for years to get this thing from him that he's never given me and never would. And that's the same with all friendships and with clients and everyone. Like, yes, people can change. I've changed a lot, but look at how dedicated I am to my personal growth. I'm super fucking dedicated. And not everybody is. And most people don't want to change. So I like to kind of just look at people by how they show up and go by that. And the people that are really into their personal development and are committed to it, they appreciate feedback or knowing my boundaries more and making adjustments and learning and growing with me. But most people don't want to grow, and people not want to be lectured on how they should treat me, you know? So it's like, is this the client that I want? Is this the friend that I want? Is this the kind of brother or sister or parent that I want? I can tell them if they're already someone I know, I tell them, but they don't have to want the same things, and that's okay. We all have different preferences. We all have different preferences. But you get to ask yourself, what do you want in a relationship? How do you want people to show up? You do not have to overlook. You don't have to abandon yourself to be in a relationship with other people, but also for the kind of relationship. I like people who share themselves, and there's some people who don't want to share themselves. They're more comfortable just listening. I'm not okay with that either. Like, I want people who show up, who are authentic, who share themselves. And so this video was kind of also me thinking about the whole thing with the traffic. You know, I was talking to one of my friends today, and I said, I always start the appointment when the gentleman arrives. They're usually on time, but occasionally someone will be late. They hit traffic or something. And she said, but you got ready. You set that time aside. You're on. And it's true. That's all true. So I am going to make that a new boundary and a new requirement, that you're paying my escort time for the time you scheduled, no matter when you arrive. And my heart goes out to you if you hit traffic. I'm happy to talk to people on the phone while they're driving. Like, that's your time set aside for you. But I'm not going to start anymore when people get there. Yeah. You know, it's been a real process for me to honor myself and set boundaries in this way. Also, you know, I have a sibling, you know, my little brother. He's not so little anymore, but I have a lot of compassion for him, and I love him, and I know he loves me, but I can't be in friendship with him if he gets reactive around certain things or gets annoyed by me about certain things and doesn't want to apologize. Not everyone that you know, a lot of people go no contact with abusive people, but I go no contact with people that I just don't like how they treat me, even though they love me and I love them. That is not enough. It's about what kind of relationship I want. And for that, it's important to communicate that to people. Yeah, so that clears out, you know, just letting go of feeling responsible. Like, I'm the big sister, so I have to love him. You know, he had a harder childhood, so I have to love him. You know, the client hit traffic, so I have to compensate. You know, this person didn't email me properly, so I have to teach him. Like, just letting go of all that ownership and that responsibility for other people's behavior has freed up my energy a lot. It has fucking freed up my energy. I'm not responsible for you. I don't have to be nice to you. I don't have to be your friend. Like, just cutting the cords. And some people have like really toxic family that they're really attached to. So I'm going to ask you, like, what is it that, why are you attached? Like, are you, you know, what is the end game here? Like, getting approval from these people that you could never get it from? Like, oh, well, now I have this person's approval and now I feel good. Really? You know, I know that's why people do it. If I can just get these people to like me, then my life will be better. But it's not about that. It's about seeing that we are the source of love. We are the source of joy. And who do we want to interact with? What kind of relationship do we want? And you know, we're all allowed to have our own preferences. And that's all I've got.